Brigitte Macron, the elegant First Lady of France. To the world, she's admired for her poise, her fashion, her romance with President Emmanuel Macron. A love story that overcame prejudice and broke every rule about age and power. But beneath that polished image could lie one of the strangest political controversies of our time. The question of who Brigitte Macron really is. What began as whispers in France has grown into a viral storm. Best-selling books, international lawsuits, and even American commentator Candace Owens staking her entire career on it. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear is more shocking than you can imagine. The official story. According to records, Brigitte Marie-Claude Trogneux was born on April 13, 1953 in Amiens, France. The youngest of 6 children in a famous chocolatier family, she became a respected French and Latin teacher. She married banker André-Louis Ozier in 1974, raising 3 children with him, Sébastien, Laurence, and Tiffaine. But her life changed in 1993 when she met a gifted student in her drama class, Emmanuel Macron. She was 39, he was just 15. It caused a scandal. Macron's parents even sent him to Paris to finish school, but their bond continued. After Brigitte's divorce, she married Emmanuel in 2007. That's the official story. Unconventional, yes, but a love that endured. But when Emmanuel Macron rose to power in 2017, journalists digging into Brigitte's past found something shocking. Parts of her life were simply missing. Cracks in the story. Reporters from Vanity Fair and French television tried to piece together Brigitte's childhood. Instead, they described a total blackout. No casual childhood photos, no high school snapshots, almost nothing from her years as a young mother. Even stranger? Her brother, Jean-Michel Trogneux. The Trogneux family are well known in Amiens, but Jean-Michel, practically invisible. He has appeared publicly only twice, at Macron's presidential inaugurations in 2017 and 2022. Beyond that, no interviews, no press, no trace. And he didn't resemble young Jean-Michel from the only Trogneux family photo that was ever released publicly. Instead, this young boy strangely resembled the person we now know as Brigitte Macron. And that's when a dangerous question began to spread. What if Brigitte and Jean-Michel had swapped identities? Xavier Poussard's investigation. This theory didn't start with Candace Owens. It began years earlier with French journalist Xavier Poussard. During the 2017 French election, while the media painted Emmanuel and Brigitte as a fairy tale couple, Poussard spotted inconsistencies. He calculated that Macron wasn't 15 when their romance began, he was only 14. And Brigitte wasn't 36, as press officers first claimed, she was 39. What the press celebrated as love, he described as the grooming of a minor. With researcher Natasha Ray, Poussard dug deeper. They studied archives, family portraits, school records. In 2021, Ray went public in a 4-hour YouTube interview. She accused Brigitte of being her own brother in disguise. French courts convicted her of defamation in 2022, though the ruling was later overturned. But Poussard didn't stop. After years of secrecy, in February 2025, he published his book, Becoming Brigitte. It rocketed to the top of Amazon France. His claims, the same as Natasha Ray's, that Brigitte Macron was actually Jean-Michel Trogneux, and that the real Brigitte had mysteriously vanished. But Poussard's investigation doesn't stop at questions of identity. In his self-published book, Becoming Brigitte, he takes the theory even further, into territory almost too disturbing to imagine. To Poussard, this isn't simply a case of mistaken identity. It's a network of lies, silence, and possible abuse, buried deep within the Macron family's history. But if Poussard was right, what happened to the real Brigitte? And why has Jean-Michel remained such a shadowy, elusive figure? Candace Owens factor. This is where American commentator Candace Owens enters the story. Known for her controversies, Owens took Poussard's research and gave it a global stage. In March 2024, she launched her Becoming Brigitte YouTube series. Her case rested on 4 pillars. 1. Identity swap, comparing Brigitte and Jean-Michel's photos, zooming in on jawlines and smiles. 2. Missing childhood, highlighting the lack of casual photos from Brigitte's early life. 3. Physical features, slowing clips to argue Brigitte's hands were too big, her hips too narrow. 4. The lawsuit as proof, reframing the Macron family's legal action as evidence of guilt. The series went viral with millions watching. Owens even claimed Donald Trump personally called her in 2025, saying President Macron had asked him to intervene. And that turned a French rumor into a full-blown international scandal. But the real explosion was still to come. The legal war. In July 2025, Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron filed a 22-count defamation lawsuit against Candace Owens in Delaware. They accused her of spreading verifiably false and devastating lies. In France, they also pursued cases against Natasha Ray and others. While one court overturned the earlier convictions, the Macrons escalated the case to France's highest court. Owens, meanwhile, used the lawsuit as fuel. To her followers, being sued was proof she was over the target. And so, what began as whispers in Amiens had now become a courtroom battle, stretching from Paris to Washington, D.C. But the most chilling part isn't the lawsuits. It's the unanswered questions. The unanswered questions. Here's what we know. Brigitte Macron's official biography is clear. Her brother Jean-Michel exists, but has only appeared twice in public, remaining a ghostly presence. Journalist Xavier Poussard spent years investigating, publishing a bestseller that exposed holes in her past. Candace Owens amplified it into a worldwide scandal. But here's what we don't know. Why are there so few photos of Brigitte before her 30s? Why has Jean-Michel remained so elusive? If she really is a man, who are the children Brigitte claims as her own? And does one of them have a strange connection to Emmanuel Macron? And most haunting of all, if there really was an identity swap, what happened to the real Brigitte Trogne? Until those questions are answered, the controversy lives on. For the Macrons, this is about defending dignity, family, and truth. For Candace Owens, it's about free speech and exposing hidden secrets. For Xavier Poussard, it's about telling a story no one else dared to tell. But for us, it's a reminder of how fragile truth can be in the age of viral media. So what do you think? Is Brigitte Macron's life exactly as history books say? Or is there something darker hidden in the shadows of Amiens? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if you stayed until the end, and subscribe for more stories that uncover the mysteries and scandals they don't want you asking about.